Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Namaskar. This is Engineer Suraj Singh speaking from Bharat, India on this day, September 7, 2021. By chance, I am getting some signals. By chance, it happens. Title of talk is Safety, Quality, COVID-19, Civil Field Engineering, Life Quality, AnnexSL, COVID-19, Safety, Health, Environment, Engineer's Role, Designs and Construction Methods, Communication, Coordination, Organization, etc. etc. I talked of quality always, which is very much important to me as I understand its life, and life is very important, so is quality. If we condemn quality, I can say we condemn ourselves, because these certificates speak something else. We don't respect our certificates because we are not sincere people. Why we should not respect our certificate? That is point. Everybody has some certificates, and these certificates speak a lot. These certificates are not only for purpose of employment, but these are for purpose of producing something that is demanded. Should be considered in its total. These certificates have got no meaning if this quality and safety are not. No. Quality is a must. We must understand that. Safety is a must. We must understand that. Quality, for example, you can take services of Airtel, which I am using signals. I think, I don't know, it's a sixth trial when I could successfully get signals, small signals. And I'm not sure up to how many minutes I shall keep them. I write to them many times. There's a record of complaints about signals, and they say will take 10 days, 15 days. They are very big people. They can take 1 month, but they charge service fee from you and they don't care for that. They know there is no competition, nothing, so they don't bother. It's not Airtel only, all services sectors alike, all products alike, all manufacturers alike. People are not serious, therefore they are not serious. Why should they be serious when you are not serious? When we accept everything, why should they worry about seriousness? That's point of you can say consideration, that quality is condemned, and you know it very well. There's no meaning on anything. COVID-19 has not been controlled because of no determination among people, no determination among literate and professionals and everyone. Whole world is confused, mixed up. Every day you will find many statements from many directions, from scientists, from doctors, from others, from politicians. I think highest factor is which valued is money, economy. At this moment, economy is considered first criteria. Means we want money, we want wealth. We don't even care for lives. We have no control on that. That is what's happening. How long it shall go, I can't say. But one point is very, very clear. There is no consideration of humanity. They think, okay, no problem, if 2-3% people die, we can save 97, 98. They have come to that level because they want to save themselves. They don't care for others. This is happening. Same thing, everybody is interested in protecting itself without caring for others. This is what is the standard of living around world. And really speaking, it's very, very serious. We should avoid this. Somebody says now it's pollution that has caused problems to COVID. Yes, it is, everybody knows. But what actions have been taken? What actions you have taken? Nothing. So where is quality control? Where is quality requirement? If you understand pollution is increasing, you can say healths are falling, health hazards are happening. Actually, quality in quality system and safety system, COVID is health hazard. We did not know this would happen, but it has happened. But what actions we have taken? Nothing. We do not even know how does it work. How did it come, from where did it come, what it is. We have no information. Whole world has no information, but they are moving, we have controlled. In fact, nothing has been controlled. You can read news from various countries. Some are giving news, some are not giving news. More than 40,000 cases in England, more than 100,000 cases in USA every day. I'm talking every day. And we are around 40,000 per day, which is of course not correct news, I can say. We must be somewhere around 100,000 to 200,000 per day. But they are saying 39,000, 40,000, 41,000, likewise 48,000. Means they want to just keep figures within their control so that nobody can question. That's okay. No, don't question. Question is not important here. Importance is control. That control is not happening, and this is only because of lack of seriousness. And this lack of seriousness is a great question mark, big question mark. We have to answer ourselves what we are doing, what we are not doing. Safety administration, we talked of emergency procedures, we talked of personal protective equipment, and then excavations, we talked a lot on that. Of course, lifting equipment, we talked of, which is a very important item. Then we can say, let's say, lifting equipment, very good item, the cranes, hoist, excavators, conditions of wire offsets, etc. So we talked of then electrical system, which is very important. Compressed gases we talked of course. Then it's actually very big issue. Heights, it may be building, or it may be tower, it may be some other structure. You have to go to heights. You can say erection properly supervised, lines, anchor points provided, PP issue, safety access, weather limitations tags. Working at height is very critical, we know, because first of all, it impacts psychologically on workers. If you are working at highest level, let us say 20-story level, 15-story level, it is psychological impact itself. Air pressure also effective. Air speed is also high. And you can say, well, once you are used to that, it doesn't matter, but care is important. If somebody falls from there is no way one can save life. There are so many means we provide in safety, but human is careless, overconfident. It's really very difficult to control that situation. And if situation cannot be controlled, well, I think nothing can be done. So what we say working at height is erection properly supervised, lines, anchor points provided, PP harness used, safe access, weather limitation, taglines used. Supervision is number one because you have eyes on everyone. Supervision means construction supervision, safety supervision, quality supervision, and whatever else is required, you can say eagle eyes. It's responsible. It's your problem. Don't blame them that they did not take their own care. They would take their care provided you are there. When you are there, you supervise them. They become secure that someone is there to look after them. It's an important point. A security, a security criteria, a security situation is created. They feel secure that my supervisor is there or my engineer is there and my engineer takes my care. In that case, they take their care but with confidence. And if there is no supervisor, you leave to them, then they become like kids in school. You can see kids in primary school, how they handle themselves, how they fight together, how they love together, how they talk together. Concentration from study goes on to, entangling with each other. Same happens on sites, on works. Though they are aged people, maybe 35 years, 40 years, 25 years, they are well grown up, but mind is not well grown up. When there is no teacher there, I mean to say, when there is no supervisor there, at that time no engineer is there is no one to ask them what they are doing. Every person intends that there should be someone to look after my work. There should be someone to see that what I am working is fine, it's according requirement, and that person feels pleased, feels respected if there is someone to look after that person's work. And when you look after person's work, you shall certainly take care of that the person should be safe. If some information is required to that person, that information should be given, because sometimes these people become very serious that there is no one to look after me. If I make some mistake, who shall be responsible? They will hold me responsible. Such kind of psychological thinking enters person. Though this is not related to safety, it's quality, but it impacts mind of that person. There is no one to look after me. Therefore, continuous supervision at such critical time must be there. It doesn't matter that you are present there, but you should be somewhere around to whom that person can contact. You should be serious about safety measures, that person, what safety resortion, what safety PPEs, or what is required that person is taking care of. Therefore, it's a question of psychology at height. Already person is in a height, that person is half up, you can say, mentally, but it is life. People work to earn. Life is also important, earning is also important. Similarly, there are certain provisions we provide, there are lines we provide, anchor points we provide, everything we provide, we know. But that is physical. You have to create a situation, an environment of tension-free state. All PPEs must be given, whatever is required. Harnesses must be given. Safe access must be given. And temperature controls must be done. That is weather limitations. Temperature control, drinking water, facilities for toilet, or because it happens they drink water even if it is hot or cold. They drink water, and if it's cold they take tea. There should be proper provision of tea, or they have to buy themselves or not to buy them, so that's different issue. I can say working at height is different, because everybody doesn't use lift or winch. They sometimes go by walking on, or raising on, or ascending on temporary staircases. So we have to be very considerate on this account. It is psychology. I understand very well psychology of people here, because work is important for them. Respect is also important for them. You know, if you yourself go and see a person how is working, that person works, you ask him, that person shall feel pleased, of course, that someone is there to ask me. That's what I'm saying. Safety, and sometimes you can say quality of work, and your involvement in safety and quality, of course, import something. It's not simply supervision, it is super handling, you can say, super handling of people. Some people call it person to person contact. Yes, it is person to person contact, but it is contact for work. If workers are happy, they are comfortable in working, they want first physiology tension free or stress free, they shall have confidence in working. My life is safe here, my contribution to work is safe here, and my honor exists. It is self-respect. Issues are there, shading is required, and you can say humidification is required. Because of dehydration at heights, it happens. Frequent water consumption is required, tea consumption is required, and whatever facilities are required, we have to provide for security purpose, for balance purpose, because it is hard work, it is mental work, it is physical work. Quality is required, safety is required, it's essential. We have to provide them. And if we don't provide them, we don't do our job. Therefore, intensive quality supervision is a requirement. Quality supervision means it's not only attendance of supervisor or engineer, it is presence for use, for purpose of delivery to those workers what they actually require. Because if these workers are not provided with those, you can say, those inputs which they need from your executives, from your supervisors, from your engineers, they are not confident. It's not only that security is okay, it is survival for work. Safe work, safety first, quality must. You can your own way chart means you cannot ignore them. Don't ignore them. Because if they don't work, you cannot be successful. That is one point of view. If our workers are not successful, no project can be successful. That point must be kept in view. Success of project, success of engineer, success of supervisor, success of organization depends on human resources. Construction. We have to take care of environmental conditions because after all we are human beings, we have certain limitations. If we have certain tolerance in our, you can say, ears, in our minds, in our respiration, in our health, and in our system of body. If you go beyond that, for example, if you are given a noise of maximum decibels and you won't be happy, oh my God, I got headache. You won't get headache. Noise control is very important. You can't go beyond certain defined decibels. Of course, on construction sites, you can't avoid that. In factories, you can't avoid that. Even in industries or even on roads, you can see on traffic how much traffic is there. And voice of vehicles, you can't avoid that. Thousands of vehicles on road and voice and using horns, all that. It happens. So we must have certain environmental issues now. That is noise control. Noise is annoying sometimes. And same noise is when it is music, it's enjoying, it's entertaining. But there should be controls because okay, for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 10 minutes you can enjoy. But you can enjoy for 10 hours. Point is that how much pollution go, how much pollution enters your ears, your mind, it impacts mind. When it enters the ears, it enters your mind, it impacts your mind, it enters your body. So noise must be controlled, and in sites you can say noise from hammer, jackhammer, noise for rock breaker, noise from, you can say, hammers, noise from whatever work you do. It's not one hammer, there will be 50 hammers, 100 hammers, and noise comes from everywhere. Road maintenance. Road maintenance because we need access, we need service on ground. For that, good road is required, access road is required, service road is required. It should be properly maintained for smooth transport, and people also walk on that on sites. It's used for walking as well, so they should walk comfortably. Pollution controls, as I said, noise pollution and air pollution and many other pollutions that should be controlled. I know that you can't do everything there, but for example, dust. You have to suppress dust, or else dust particles which are clay or silt, or I know sand doesn't exist in air, but fine particles which can penetrate into nose, which can penetrate into mouth, which can penetrate into eyes, which can penetrate into ears. They block our cavities. It goes into nose cavities, nostrils. It can remain in our nose and can also enter to our body inside of body through stomach. You can find stomach, these particles. And of course, when these particles are in air, it will impact your head, settle on your skull, and you can say these cause problems only. What actions we should take? Even if you wash your face, you can wash your face only, you cannot wash your inside of nostril. You should wash. Or you should take something that helps to release them, to exit them from body. Sometimes people say eat molasses, some people say eat this. It means whatever is treatment, whatever is solution, that must be taken care of. That's what's requirement here. And if that is done, it's fine, it happens, and we have to care about that. So noise control, road maintenance, pollution controls, dust suppression, heat exhaustion, temperature issue. In hot areas, temperature may be 45 degrees, it may be 40 degrees, it may be 35 degrees, or sometimes it may be 50 degrees. In Baghdad, Iraq, in Kuwait, in hot areas, you may find 45 to 50 very common. It may be fluctuating, and of course, related to this is, you can say, relative humidity. Humidity which can be up to 90%, 95%. In Doha, I felt some 85 to 90, 95, sometimes even in evening. So that particle of water, is suspended particle of water in air, means it's kind of evaporated particles or gas, which adds temperature. It's hot and it can increase temperature of existing air. Or you feel that temperature is 35 but actually you are feeling 40, because that gas envelope, that heated air envelope surrounds your head. That point you have to keep in thought. Every day you see this weather report. It will say real temperature is this and feeling temperature is that. So that heat, and particularly in daytime, is very dangerous, because our workers can be impacted by that heated temperature of how long can you work in 45 degrees, say 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, or 10 hours, or 5 hours, or 4 hours. And even if you take water, means water also causes difference in temperature. Let us say you are taking cold water, chilled water. Inside your body is minus temperature, or 0 temperature, say, or 5 degree temperature, 10 degree temperature. Outside is 45, so there is difference of 30 degrees, 35 degrees. This is the thermal gradient, in fact. This means lower temperature within body. At that time when you take water, heat can transfer from air to your body. It can also cause impact. Its sunstroke is also very important to be considered. And also you can say UVI, that is ultraviolet index. Of course, in hot seasons it works high. It can be up to 10, 12 UVI. Okay, 2 or 3 is fine, but more than that is always detrimental to health. But you can't avoid that. You can say, okay, within these hours we want work. Maximum solution is that. Or if you have to work, means there should be some shaded provision. There should be something else, so that you can, at least there can be some difference between shade temperature and exposed temperature, weather exposed temperature. We have to analyze this, we have to understand these points. Means we have to try to reduce impact on workers because of sun, because of dust, because of thermal actions, because of humidity. And all this called environment protection means you cannot keep site untidy, you cannot keep site oily. We have to take care of every requirement, what is important. Zoom one means it releases some after application, it releases something, and during application also it releases some chemicals, some vapors, which should not remain there where you work, or it will impact your health, impact your body. So there must be provision of ventilation. Proper ventilation should be done. Where you paint, of course, when you paint, you can say walls are over, plaster is over, and of course, doors and windows have not been fixed. Maybe frames are fixed, but shutters are not fixed. So possibly ventilation would be present. But in many areas, these are not present. In that case, what we have to do? We have to provide some artificial ventilation, or we can say forced ventilation, so that air remains in circulation. It doesn't stagnate at one point. And that's also very important, that ventilation we have to provide. Then you can say containment, screening, earthing, communications, flammable materials, PPs. With paint, with grid blasting, grid blasting, this means you have to clear surfaces of metals that can be by grid blasting. There may be rusting or there may be something, you have to remove that before painting. Otherwise, you can't paint rusted surface. You have to prime it properly. On whatever specifications involved, you have to take care of that. So we can say first ventilation is a requirement, then containment, screening, and of course earthing of electrical items and proper communication with each other, because generally such metals are flammable. And every important is ventilation, lighting, and then containment. It should be clear. If it's really contained, and grid blasting is also very very complicated. New blast means something means it's under. You can say important activity. Site layout we have to consider in that. For housekeeping, when you say it's not residence house, it's whole site. And what is and it should not interfere in circulation. You have to be clear that your circulation, vehicle circulation, material circulation should not come in way of work, and work should also not come in that way. For which, for we say, we have separate areas for material stacking, we have separate areas for lay down, we call it lay down areas, where materials are stored, or some way you can say vessels are stored in separate areas, storing is done. And of course we have chances of shutters. When we remove them or we make them, nails are used for connections. And generally it happens that when you take out shutters, people just throw them, carpenters just throw them, and nails keep within, they keep fixed in and they don't take out. And sometimes what happens, people can by mistake walk on them, or sometimes nails lie on grounds and nobody cares, and this can penetrate, this will puncture your leg foot sole. And we have to see which is walkway where people should walk, what is working platform, and all walkways and all working platforms. It's 00 signals again, no problem. Let us see how far can I go. You can say good site layout is very important. Materials stacking is another consideration. Enough lay down areas on major projects is required. Material storage can be accommodated there. Temporary material storage or permanent material storage, and timber should be taken care of at least from nails point of view, and walkways should be clear, working platforms should be kept clear, and you may say that let me 5 minutes because signals are zero. I don't know it will record it or not. Just wait in place. We have to be patient little in this case because one is light is not existing at this moment. Really, I find problems sometimes in such. Let me go up and see whether I can bring it out. I don't know. So we are here. I think it's still online. I think so. Still online. Hazardous substances and others. Only those people who are involved with that work can access, and that can be created a kind of temporary zone or you can say banning John for others to enter in that area because of risk. So pressure testing is that type 1, means only those people who have been properly trained for that work and who are aware of consequences can enter. Other cannot enter there. That's main point. Radiography, it's very risky. It's, you can say, a kind of health hazard. It happens. We have to keep that area away from, you can say, where humans work, or if there is some habitation, it can be considered an isolated area, and measurement should be continuously taken about radiations. And same way, heavy lifts and hazardous substances, we have to take care of that. Hazardous substances must be taken care of separately and should be disposed of accordingly, and there should be proper understanding of what material should be kept where, which can be kept separately, stored separately, kind of mixed up. Then we can say management. Now we come on to management. Organization. Once I said supervision is requirement number 1. Supervision is 1, then commitment, and commitment has no definition. Actually, commitment itself is defined that you have to deliver. You have to deliver something quantity wise, quality wise, time wise, and you can say whatever else budget wise. It's very complicated definition. Sometimes people are very well educated but they are not committed, and sometimes some people are very well trained, very well educated, and very well committed. Those who are committed are really you are committed to your work, you are committed to your responsibility, you will be called a reliable person. Reliability comes into play. Just like I say, reliable means you are dependent on someone and someone is dependent on you. You are dependent in a way that you are given a job and that person trusts you. I can say commitment leads to trust. Trust is very significant, though it is imaginary. It has no contract, but trust is something that someone has got in someone, and you can say if you are trusted, it's wealth you have from viewpoint of that person or owner, and therefore commitment cannot be discarded. Commitment is a kind of, you can say, another qualification, another value you have. For people say this person can be trusted, he is a committed one. Commitment itself is a quality that you can do this job very well. We have experienced in past, you can do it and you shall do it. You can do it is one part, that is your qualification, but you shall do it if you say, that is trust. And that is very difficult to earn, even sometimes in whole life. People claim, I am a researcher, I have this qualification, I have so long experience, I am awarded. But when issue of commitment comes in, that is not delivered, and that's where someone fails. Near misreporting. Also, it's very significant from learning viewpoint. It happened or it didn't happen, it was to happen. We can say it had happened or it had to happen or it did not happen. There's little difference in these sentences. Oh, I would have fallen had I not noticed that. I would have fallen had I not noticed that. Means there was some point which that person noted and avoid collapse, avoid fall. That is what near miss is. Means you could involve yourself in that accident had you not done this. Or you can say, I could hardly escape. Just a question of fraction of a second. My intuition told me, or some information told me, and I escaped that accident. You can say that. Means instant care, your mind alerted you instantly and you got safe. Means a fraction of second, and you could be in accident. That is called near miss. That point, a fraction of second, is near miss. It was your savior. You got my point. I could meet that accident, but I missed that. It's not near miss. It's very critical to understand. It happens sometimes, it doesn't happen sometimes. Now, okay, I say it missed. You missed accident, but if you did not miss, so you got into accident. If incident happens, injury happens, what to do? That is the point. You can say care post incident, not pre-incident. You have to provide help to that person from first aid to final curing, final treatment. And that is incident follow-up. What sort of incident is that? Minor injury, major injury, fatal injury, or whatever else. Then you have to take care of whole procedure. After all, it is human life. And that is duty of everybody, and that's part of safety also. And everybody should know about that. Safety awareness. That we cannot hold that kind of situation without any aim. We have to fix some procedure for that. That procedure not only be fixed but also be operated. For every activity on works we carry out, every activity, it may be civil engineering activity, it may be, you can say, construction activity, it may be mechanical field activity, or it can be whatever activity. Sorry, I just went to take water because it's also safety issue. So whatever activity that is, in every branch of engineering, in construction, you shall find various disciplinary activities, and you have to deal with them. It's not so simple. We say it is electrical activity, it's mechanical activity, it is construction civil activity, it is this activity, it is that activity. Every activity has certain rules and regulations, because in those activities you have to use tools, you have to use whatever kind of tools, and those tools are all, based on some technique. Even smallest tool, for example hammer, is also based on some technique. How to nail in, how to use hacksaw, how to use saw, how to use your plug, how to use your, screwdriver, or how to use plier, how to use your generator, small generator, and how to use grinder, how to use your drill, and how to use your jackhammer, how to use Hilti machine, whatever you consider, means every use is tool Of course, electrical use is very difficult because of shocking problem. Mechanical tools are available for civil works. We use hammer, we use chisel, and we can say use saw, or we use sorry, masonry tools. We use all carpentry tools. We use carpenter tables, various kinds of fixed on table, some saw. We have to cut steel bars. We have to bend steel bars. Tools are used for that purpose. For electric work, various tools are used. For mechanical work, various tools are used. So there is no activity which can be done without tools. Nothing can be done without tools, that is true. And when we say toolbox stock, what does it mean? This means whatever tools we have to use, means in that activity, or you can in a box situation. Box doesn't mean a box, physical box. It means important tool that we have to use. These tools can lead to injuries if carelessly we use them. If workers use them carelessly, they don't understand how to use it, it can cause injury. It can happen in every stage, on every activity, even after knowing it, that it can lead to accident. It happens. We use hacksaw, for example. How we have to use it on our steel job, steel item job, or we have to use carpenter saw on timber, or we have to use chisel. What is best way to use it? Every use of tool must be known to our workers. Workers know it. I don't say no. But ignorance. Everybody after some time becomes careless. Seriousness exists in beginning of something, but when you say, oh, I have got expertise now, and that expertise means it can lead you to, possibly it can lead you to carelessness, it can lead you to ignorance, or it can lead you to a state where you say, oh no, I can do it, closing my eyes, and that stage is very difficult. Because it is worker or it is user of that tool that has to take care of tool. Tool cannot take its care on its own. Tool does not know who are you. Therefore, before doing every activity, even it is smallest activity, it is duty of supervisor to explain to them that this is way, don't forget this way. This is method, don't forget this method. And that is really very significant point. And that person at least may keep in mind that refreshment talk. I can call it refreshment talk for about 2 hours, 3 hours. And that's enough, because you can't use tool more than that. You have to use another tool, or you have to do some other activity. So what I am to say is, toolbox talks are very significant, may not be done same way. Maybe we have to deliver in many installments, we have to deliver frequently, maybe not daily, couple of days interval, in all disciplines. I say it should be made clear that toolbox stock is very important point. It should not be ignored. They understand, oh, they know everything, you know everything, but you also do not give care, due care to tools and to yourself also. When you don't care for tools, you shall not care for yourself also. We should be very serious about this issue. and it is duty of organization, it's duty of managers, it's duty of those people who work on fronts. It's not easy just to stand on site. Standing means you are working. You take care of your workers, you take care of your materials, you take care of your work. All can be done same way. You have to make sure that they do not make abuse of tools. You have to make sure that attention of people, attention of workers is not diverted. They do not talk a lot. Of course, talking is also necessary, I don't say, but just talking is not enough. At least while you use tool, electrical operated tool, gas operated tool, manual tool, whatever, whenever you do that, at least during that period, you have to be serious, you have to concentrate, and supervisor or foreman must make sure that everybody works seriously without talking, without interference, and that's an only way, or else little diversion can lead to accident. Duty is duty, responsibility is responsibility. Now these actions plans which are blank here, we'll go to now describing. I'm not going to talk of what score is there, but I'm going to just explain what is again refreshing and already explained. It's a point of leadership and administration. We have to think of that and talk about this. Training, management training, that is, project health safety rules, health control program, personal protective equipment, communications and meetings, health and safety promotion, employee training, purchasing control, material management, work equipment management, contractor control, emergency preparedness, fire prevention risk assessments, procedures and method statements, incident reporting, investigation, documentation and resources, program monitoring and surveillance. This we have to talk in details, of course, and also we have to go to our own another file, and that is, you can say, 34. Let me see, which one is that? What is 34? I missed something, is it? Let me check what is 34. In safety, 34 was plant facility project. Let us say SHE plant facility project. let's go through this. In this sections we have contents here. Let us concentrate on that also. What are these contents? These contents are also very important, and people just call for nothing. I don't know why they disturb. Already I'm disturbed. MJ is calling you. One sec. Give it here. So it's now in this scope, purpose, definition and abbreviations, then SHE or SHE policy, SHE policy statement, health, safety and environmental targets, legal obligation, contractual obligation, SHE organization and responsibilities, general SHE responsibilities, site manager, SHE manager, construction SHE plan, organization and SHE pool, medical services, safety training, mobilization, demobilization, audits, change management, management reviews, document, records, administration, documentation, general. What is the scope of this talk? Now we are talking about a plan. It's something that you can view. You have a vision of what we are going to do. That is important. Means we have a mental plan. We have to have a plan here. Means it's not automatically done. It's based on contemplation, it's based on your work scope, it's based on what you are going to do. Now what it says, the scope of this plan is, it describes safety, health and environmental activities, of course, to be performed within the scope of this planned facility. This describes safety, health and environmental activity to be performed within scope of plant facility project. Civil works including foundation works, superstructure works, internal pavements, mechanical and electrical works and other related works of project. Now what is purpose? Project organizations. To define project organizations, to define systems and to define objectives applicable to all safety, health and environment construction related activities required for proposed plant facility project whatsoever it is. IRP project, whatever project it is, whilst minimum standard is to comply with all applicable laws and regulations, ultimate goal of this safety plan is to aim for SHE standards that eliminate injury to humans and damage to facilities, materials to environment. Again, it's a very important point. This plan covers all construction phases of this project, whilst minimum standard is to comply with all applicable laws and regulations. Ultimate goal of this safety plan is to aim for safety standards that eliminate injury to humans and damage to facilities, materials. Now we are talking of definitions here. What these definitions are, we have to think of that and understand that. Now, safety means safety, health, and environment disciplines to support project activities. Safety means here SHE. Safety, health, all members of workforce involved on project site activities, whatever activities are going to be conducted, are going to be involved, hundreds and thousands, and every person is a person which has been entitled project manager or project leader or whatsoever deployed by contractor. Engineer here means a purpose of contract, not otherwise. For purpose of contract only, and that is independent, you can say, that is without bias to client, to owner. As far as technical work is concerned, supervision is concerned, approvals are concerned, payment to contractors are concerned, and whatever else is concerned, supervision or before supervision design, or you can say whatever work goes on site in whatever discipline, all responsibility of supervision and controls are to be owned by engineer or owner's representative, and owner has to pay for engineer's fee if it is not employed, or salaries if it is employed, on all associated staff of engineer. And also payment has to be made to contractor based on recommendation by engineer or representative for work done. Plan should be, means there should be some basis for constituting or charting out some plan, and what basis should be there, it depends on what nature of project is that, how it is going to be executed, and based on that we can chart out safety plan. We have to link it to project plan. What is that project? And these definitions also stand there. Project means plant facility project. Its general name, no specific name. Whatever project is that, that should be reflected here. Client is project owner, or you can say operator. It can be government, it can be corporate, it can be whosoever. And contractor means appointed company, appointed organization, appointed party by client for doing either EPC or PC for this project. This contractor may be total contractor, or you can say engineering, procurement and construction contractor. Generally on plants it happens like this, because design is also taken care of by contractor, and this is highest profile contractor, you can say. It's not contractor of construction alone, contractor of totality, you can say. You have to do everything yourself as contractor. Depending on requirements must be complied with. That's main point of view. Now what is plant? Point is that we have to chart out plant safety, you can say, but what is that? Point is that what is project we have explained, what is client we have explained, what is contractor we have explained. Plant, we can say plant is machinery. Yes, of course, machinery is a plant, but it's not one machine. There may be hundreds of machines. How many big and small machines? There can be apparatus, there can be materials, there can be computer hardware and software, there can be articles and things, we call it. Things is general word, but nowadays very important, because we can say we can call G5 also Internet of Things. You can say Internet of Things of all kinds to be provided under proposed contract. Whatever works, works, all plant to be provided and work to be done by contractor under EPC contract. This means plant is not just a machine. It can be combination of machines, it can be total trains, it can be whatever operations are to be affected, whatever materials are to be used. Means it's like that. Whole project is a plant. Whole project. It's not simply building work, it's not simply flyover work, it's not simply road work. It is complete, complicated activities filled project. We have certain abbreviations. Engineering, procurement and construction contractor, and which engineering means designs here. When we use engineering, it is designs. Procurement means procurement of everything, including designs, including technology, including all you can say processes, equipment, machine and their erection, foundations, everything. It's a package. Means there is nothing that owner has to do, just to inaugurate it and start operating. SHE or HSE, that is safety, health and environment we are talking of. It's not a subject alone. It's altogether a subject. It works with other subjects. What is PPE? We know personal protective equipment, very well known to everyone. And this is not only on sites, these are used elsewhere also. We are saying nowadays PPEs in COVID cases, you must have PPEs like kit of doctors, mask, eye glasses, goggles, can say goggles. And likewise, whatever is required for taking preventive measures, that is called PPE, hard hat, right? And whatever else, respiratory system, gloves. Are quality requirement, because assurance is not enough. We have to find quality materials. We have to deliver quality materials, and assurance has failed actually. So it is quality requirement. What is QM? It's quality management. We can call it total quality management. We call it total quality organizational management, which means whatever work is done in that organization, in office, corporate office, or in branch offices, or in site offices, whatever kind of work is done on site, everything should be part of organization, everything should be part of quality total system or total management, which is also called TQM, total quality system and management. It's very old term. It doesn't claim everything separately. It combines everything you can say integrates every activity together in that organization, and every activity must be taken care of. It may be office activity, it may be field activity, it may be site activity, it may be sales activity, or whatever else it is. Everything must be taken care of. In that way we can say it is very wide system. It's very wide description, and every description, every title in that team, in that organization, in that plan should have certain details separately. So it's called total quality management, total quality organization, and that quality is also subheaded as total quality safety management organization, total quality management, total quality you can say quantity management. Likewise, you can apply to every sub-discipline or every discipline as important as possible and as bigger project it is, or you can say whatever standard of quality we expect from ourselves. All that must be understood well. Then we say, okay, we find you have done QA, QR, QM, quality, MM. You can say corporate quality management manual. Quality management manual. Management manual is up to you. How do you want to describe yourself? How do you want to explain your company organization? Here is company different means it's a group. It's not that company I'm talking of. It is system. It is quality management, quality organization manual, which is a kind of approved book by that organization. What are standards that they are going to adopt? Then we can say COSH, COSH, control of substances hazardous to health. There may be many more abbreviations, but not necessary. This is just indicative. Rewriting means what can be there. You can, whatever conditions are there, we have to make such arrangements that those conditions, rather than being reversal, become favorable to site. That is major point here. You cannot keep someone in isolation more than defined time. Provide and maintain a safe, healthy working environment in compliance with all local regulations and legislations together with appropriate international standards and regulations. What is that? Provide and maintain a safe, healthy working environment in compliance with all local regulations and legislations together with appropriate international standards and regulations. Ensure that